Sonic, let's get some breakfast. Here we go.
That's good. All right, once was enough.
I'd like a cheeseburger, some fries.
With that shake. This is a shake.
With a shake.
No, we're the shake.
That was a pretty tight turning radius. Yep. Welcome to another episode of OUTOFDAVEBF Dave, where today I'm super excited to be able to bring to you the new Tesla Model 3 refresh. I've been waiting so long to see this car in person, and today's the day that I actually am able to do that. I've seen every video that's out there. Thank you to all of you who have made videos on that, but today it's my turn, and I'll tell you what, I really like what I see with this vehicle. You know, the Model 3 is arguably one of the best, if not the best car ever made, in my opinion, in our opinion. I know my son Kyle shares that opinion. It just does everything right if you're looking for a car. Now, the Model Y outsells the Model 3 because it's an SUV. It's a little bit higher up, you get a little bit more. And currently, at the time of this video, this particular car is not eligible. This is the Model 3 rear-wheel drive LFP pack, the one with, you can charge it up to 100%, but it's no longer qualifying for the $7,500 federal tax credit. But you know what does is the Model Y. But just know that prices always change. The cars don't change as often. So let's talk about the car today, what I see, what I'd like. We'll go over the outside of the car. I'll take you on a little bit of an interior tour of the car, and then we'll go for a drive in this car as well. And if there's time, I'm also going to drive the long range as well and do a comparison. So let's get into it. All right, so what we have here is the new Tesla Model 3 refresh. A lot of people were calling it Highland back in the day. That was an internal code name. And what this is really not a revolution, but an evolution of the Model 3, which it's been iteratively, you know, increasing the value proposition over many years. But, you know, for Tesla to come out with a major upgrade like this is really something that, in my opinion, they've gotten right. Now, I've read everything I can about the car, and today is the first day that I was able to drive it. And so far, what I will tell you very quickly is that it is a softer suspension, it is a smoother ride over the bumps, and it actually goes pretty quick, you know, off the line. When you first give it the juice, it goes, and then and if you keep it floored, it really doesn't accelerate much. But do you really need that? And but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that are unique about this car. The headlights, it's kind of the dead giveaway that this is the new Model 3 refresh. You'll not see any fog lights or fog lamps on this car. They're incorporated into the headlights. You won't see a front camera, which was hot rumored that everyone was saying. This is still a vision-based car. And, you know, I got my reservations about that. So does my wife, Kathy, who, you know, hit the pole. Now, of course, you have to be in control of your car. And maybe that's why a lot of Tesla people back up when they park, because you do have a camera in the back that you can see. This is V4 hardware, I should say. You can see because of the red color in the cameras that are there. And the screen is very snappy. It's if anything, it's faster than what I remember, but you know, there's no degradation in terms of the quality of the screen. It's a very familiar car. What's interesting is they spell out the word Tesla on the back. It's not just a badge like it was. The only badge you see is on the front hood of this car, which is interesting. But, you know, to the untrained eye, you're not going to see any difference between this and the older Model 3. But there are major differences in terms of the way that it drives, the way that it rides. I really like this. So let's go take a little bit of an interior tour, and then we'll go for a drive.
So Dave, I want to sit in the back and let's see what this is all about back here. Okay. Well, this is nice. Now, my seat is moved up to where a normal person sits, so there's plenty of leg room, I think. But on your side, because you're not normal, there is a lot less room if you're sitting behind a tall person. So I think, though, if you're an average person, you have some kids and normal sized people in the car, this is ample space. very nice to have a screen here, which you did just tell me can also control the passenger seat, and a way to lock that out. But you have your own temperature controls here. I imagine you can watch some YouTube videos, all very, very nice. Some good pockets, tight, like very tight. They're not very wide, but they're solid. And let's talk about headroom. Well, good for me. Not sure about a very tall person back here, but certainly ample for me, but I'm 5'8", so I think it's very nice. The stitching is beautiful. The perforated seats are excellent. There's these nice little head bumps here to catch you. And again, this material all the way through with this beautiful lighting. I just love that. Little coat hook, very important for the dry cleaning. Or, you know, your sport coat or whatever you need in the car. I think very well done back here. Let's see what this is. Good, solid cup holders, not little chintzy things that come out. So I like it. Okay.
All right, Kat, thanks for that back seat sort of update. Let me jump in the front seat. One thing I do want to show you is there's, on a lot of cars, there's this little space right here. I don't know if you can see that, but and underneath the door there's a metal bar, and I asked the Tesla rep what that is, and he explained that is it's a steel bar that goes up inside the door to provide more structural rigidity in the case of an accident. But didn't you just, Kathy,
yes,
you just hit your foot on that when you were getting out? So I don't know how often that's going to happen.
I don't know, but that's how I noticed it.
Yeah. So look, inside the car, I feel really very at home. Again, I have huge headroom in the car. The steering wheel feels great. The ergonomics are amazing. The center console is very similar and familiar to what the older one was like. You've got your charging ports here for your iPhone, and you've got your cup holders, very deep pocket over here. You got a 12 volt underneath here. You've got your charging ports, and you know, look, it's a Model 3, but it's Model 3 on I don't know, it's pumped some iron, and it's got a little bit of it's grown up a lot, and it's much more refined. I would say it's moving towards more of an elegant rather than a sporty type of car. I think that the softness of the suspension is going to be absolutely on point for most people, but the Model 3, the older generation, right out of the box, has been one that a lot of people, they drive them on the weekends hard on tracks, and they do a lot with them. So I think the aftermarket suspension components and brake kits and all of that, they're probably going to have a lot of fun with the Model 3, probably more the long range to upgrade that. Now, long range, you can still get the acceleration boost. This car is the rear wheel drive, but you know, firms like Mountain Pass and others are probably going to sell a lot of aftermarket suspension upgrades for this car. So really liking on the inside. All right, so Kath, here we are inside the new Model 3 refresh. Finally,
Yeah.
I'm liking this thing.
It's very, very nice in here.
It's, you know, it's funny. I've watched pretty much every video that's been out on this car, and you have an expectation that, you know, it's going to be so much better. And usually when someone tells you got to, you know, the movie's great, and you go to it, the movie's not that good. But you know what? I really like this thing.
Well, I can tell you right off the bat, and literally got in the car 30 seconds ago, already the interior feels elevated.
Yeah.
There are much nicer materials.
Absolutely.
In this interior.
Now, this road, this road is a relatively bumpy road, but I can already feel that the suspension is softer. The seat feels a little wider. I like the fact it's perforated, these seats.
Yeah, also the stitching looks nicer than what's in my Model Y. This feels nicer.
Yeah.
I think this is the Alcantara, this fabric.
No, that's not really, it's just a cloth fabric.
No,
it's not really Alcantara.
Oh, it feels nice.
And look at how they have this
up here on the dash.
up on the dash as well. That's interesting.
Nice.
The steering wheel I really like. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, Stalkless. Okay, I'm already used to that from the Model X, so that's not a big deal to me.
It's not
But-
exactly circular.
No,
but it's also not that funky other thing either.
It's not a squircle. It's round, but it's flattened out at the bottom, so you can. So I just went to put it on turn signal there
I think it's actually attractive, the steering wheel. It looks fine.
All right, this is bumpy here. Let's feel this.
Oh, there's so much construction.
That is smooth. Now, let me just bring this. Is that a Chevy Volt? Oh my goodness.
What are the chances?
It's quiet. And it's plenty fast. Quick. I mean, you know, I'm only doing 30 miles an hour at 30, but it feels very responsive.
Agreed.
That's all you need. Why am I driving a Model X? Plaid?
You're actually not.
That's true. I'm driving this.
Kyle is.
Oh, that's true.
We haven't seen that X in quite a while.
I don't know if I'm ever going to see it again. I don't know. Especially after driving this.
You've been in the car for 2 minutes, David. So
I know. I'm just
there's
teasing.
a screen back here. Well, I'm going to sit in the back seat too in a little bit.
All right.
And see the comfort, the headroom, the leg room. Let's see what that's about.
The glass roof.
This has to cut your visibility.
It does. I mean, the X is so much better, but you know what? It feels like this is a little further forward, and I have a little bit better visibility up to the top, out the glass roof. That's all it's got right there. Yeah, I mean it's definitely. What are we at? Percentage, we're at 92% state of charge, showing 250 miles of range. Regen was not strong there, and I don't know if it's got blend braking in or not. It's something that I'm not sure that that's an option on this car, that you can put it in or not. I remember one of the videos Kyle made where he couldn't find that feature in the menu. I'm going to look for that.
Which direction are you turning?
I was going to turn left. Should I turn right?
Yeah, that's too hard to get across.
All right, too hard. Let's go this way. Dunkin' Donuts.
Hit that on the way back.
You know, I felt a little nauseous there with the
I doubt it.
No. Yeah, this is really nice.
It's a nice car. This feels good.
No rattles, tight, put together. Very comfortable. You know, the seating position in the Model 3 is what I like best about this car. Now, I love the X and sitting up higher, and the Y, obviously you sit up higher in an SUV. But compared to the Model S, I like the Model 3 seat, the ergonomics of it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been in a Model 3. Does this feel wider?
It does.
I feel like we have a lot of room. This feels spacious.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is it seems like the doors are caved out a little bit.
Oh, they are.
They are. They're like curved out a little bit, so you have a nice feel in there. Everything's very familiar here. Very familiar.
Just does feel elevated. There are a few interior changes that make it feel just a little more special.
Look, folks, the thing is, it's forget about me and my buying decisions and all of that. What I will tell you is that the Model 3, the older generation now, we'll call it, not the refresh, it absolutely is one of the best cars I've ever owned. I owned a Model 3 Performance years ago, silver white, and then Kyle has had a number of them as well. He had a rear-wheel drive, long range, and now he's got a Performance. So we're big fans of the Model 3, and last year I bought 2 of them, rear-wheel drives, LFPs. We got, you know, tremendous amount of content out of that, and I think a lot of people really became aware of the benefits of the LFP battery pack, where you can charge it up to 100% every day if you need to. And you know, the luxury, or the fact that you've got the charging network wherever you need, it makes it a road tripper, even though it doesn't have the long range. To me, unless you're living in a really snowy area with a lot of hills, or you have a steep driveway and you absolutely need all-wheel drive, I would say the piece to buy is this one. Now, currently at the time of this video recording, there is no $7,500 rebate or federal tax credit. And so it makes the economics of this car a little bit different. There are most likely still the legacy Model 3s out there. And so if you really can't get over this stalkless steering wheel, first of all, I think the guys from Sexy Buttons are going to be creating a stock. So I think that aftermarket will take care of that. I'm hoping that it does, and I'd like to test that on my Model X. But, you know, there are some great deals on the existing Model 3s, and they're tremendously good cars. This just kicks it up a notch.
I agree.
So if you are a first-time buyer of an EV, and the Model 3 is the way to go. Now, the Y still has the tax credit. I'm hearing that you can get a Model Y rear-wheel drive for less money than a Model 3.
Wow, that's astonishing. Long
range, and that's an interesting fact. Look at the speed bumps over here. Here we are at what is this, Sonic here?
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic. Let's get some breakfast.
No.
All right. I think what I'm going to do, let me just check out the turning radius here on this thing. Here we go.
That's good. All right. Once was enough.
I'd like a cheeseburger, some fries.
With that shake. This is a shake.
With a shake.
No, we're the shake.
That was a pretty tight turning radius.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's better or worse than the other one, but it's not lacking. Yeah. That's for sure. All right. So I am impressed.
Well, and just when we got into the car, I know you're going to do a walk around, but I think the styling's beautiful. It definitely looks updated. It looks modern.
On the inside, sure. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the outside.
Oh, the outside, yeah.
When we went pulling up to it. So I know you'll do a little walk
Listen,
around.
to the untrained eye, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And unless you're a real fan of these cars.
The untrained eye just goes, oh, it's a Tesla.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
As here comes a Model Y.
There you go. All right. Well, let me turn left. I don't want to hit that. I don't want to hit that Santa Fe. Let me turn left here.
Good camera. Is this different than mine? This looks pretty nice.
No.
Mine's like that?
Yeah, it's pretty. Let's check out the stereo. How do you turn it on? Here we go. Should we go for country?
But look at the detail here.
Yeah, well, you have that all in yours
now. I know, but that's all improved.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. We just listened to the radio. It's actually great. Really good. Not as good as my Model X, but then again, the price points are hugely different. But I would say it's better sound than what I had in my Model 3 rear-wheel drive from last year. I feel very comfortable in this car, and
you have a lot of headroom. A tremendous amount. I mean, I feel like it's almost a foot.
8 inches.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And not one piece of glass. There is that bar separating it, but there's so much light coming in, and it's a dark interior, and it feels light. It feels nice.
Familiar kicked up a notch is what I would say. Yeah. And they have made a great car even better. I like this thing. All right, I just want to check what mode we're in. We're in standard mode, not chill mode. That's good. Steering comfort was in standard, and I'm going to put that to comfort right now. Do get a little wind noise out here. A little wind noise.
Right here through the window.
Do you? Just a little bit. This should always be on early. Forward collision warning was on late. I just put it to early. Lane departure avoidance, emergency. Let me see, display. Oh, you can lock the rear display. Do you know you can control that seat from the rear display? But there is a way to lock it out.
So if you're an annoying child and you want to play with your mother, make her go forward.
But you can turn that off. But what's nice about that is for Uber drivers, right? Anyone who buys this car, the user experience for a passenger is going to be much more elevated. That you can control the HVAC from the rear. You can watch Ubers. You can watch YouTubes, and you can watch videos in the back. And if you want to move the seat, passenger seat in the front up, you can control that from the from the rear screen. So that's nice. Really good. Major upgrade for an Uber driver from a service standpoint, I would say. This is where there is Alcantara on the doors here, which is nice. That's a difference. And you still have that cloth that was on the side doors over there. But can you see any other differences between the Model 3 rear-wheel drive and this one?
Well, to my untrained eye, I'd say no, I'm in exactly the same car.
Yeah, except for the side panels. The headliner is still the same. It's a white roof, and yeah, I'm real anxious to see. Ooh, nice ultra red Model S pulling in. Happy dude there. And get out your checkbook, pal. Yeah, I mean, all right, let's go for a drive and see what the acceleration is like on this one. All right, so here we are in the Model 3. This is also a steel gray, black interior. Interesting, the difference on the door panels, Alcantara. But I'm curious to see how this thing accelerates the long range versus the rear-wheel drive. So you ready, Kath?
Well, okay, but everybody, hold on. It's going to be bumpy.
All right,
I'm just holding.
I'm gonna just see. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely faster, and you can also get the acceleration boost on this car, so it would be much faster. But the question is, do you really need it? All-wheel drive, sure. I almost went for the stock there. Did you see that? Now let's feel these bumps here on this bumpy road. All right. I mean, very smooth over those bumps. Really good. Wow. I'm impressed. It feels like one solid piece of metal going down the road and a very soft, plush suspension. I'm going to do a relatively hard brake test here. Are you ready? Maybe rest it on your knee.
It's not any smoother.
All right, you ready?
Oh.
Okay. Did you see how? Well, I don't know if you saw this, but the nose dipped a lot.
They can't see it.
And now I'm going to accelerate. Let me just do a quick. Let me just punch it from stop.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of body roll forward and back. Now I haven't been able today to put it out on the twisties and see how much roll there is with the suspension, but I can only imagine it's got to be soft. So, all right, cool. All right, so I got the key card, and instead of putting it in the front of the armrest, you got to put it up by where the car charges. As soon as you do that, and then you can put it in the park. You just push the little thing away from you. It's going to be a little freaky for a lot of people. I have a feeling there's going to be people that will drive this Model 3 refresh and will not buy it because they'll be like, wait a minute, where's the turn signal? Wait a minute, how do I put the car in drive? You know, one of the interesting things about this system, and it's not just unique to the Model 3, but you can also, in the Model X and the Model S, if you're parked and you put your foot on the brake, when you get in the car, it'll automatically know about 95% of the time which direction to go, whether you go forward or back. Be careful with that, but it's nice because when it works, and it works quite often, you don't even need to put the car in gear, which is amazing. So I think these are little things. What I would suggest is you'll get over the fact that it doesn't have turn signals. Or the one good news is, like my Model X, it's got a button for the horn. This has a actual horn in the center, so Tesla got that right, which is really good. And so I'm very pleased with that. Our limited time with the new Tesla Model 3 refresh is coming to an end because there's lots of people that are waiting for this back at the Nesconset Sales Center. The guys over there are great. I highly encourage you to go to any Tesla showroom and check out this Model 3 refresh. I really like what I see here a lot. And it's a great car. It's just, you cannot argue with this car. You got to get over the Stalkless thing. You know, the fact that it is a car. It's not the Model Y, but if you're looking for a car, this is a great piece. So everyone, thanks again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave. We'll catch you on the next one. And who knows? Maybe I'll be in one of these soon. I don't know.